Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Whether it is a life in the relative world as somebody, or it is a spiritual practice, or it is meditation, all of them are played with the instrument of mind. Mind is something like a bridge on the river of life. Every river has two banks, and these banks are connected by the river. We cannot construct a house on the bridge, like Lakshman Jhula or this Ram Jhula. You can't construct a house there. Either be on this bank or be on that bank. So we prefer to be on the bank of matter, not on the bank of consciousness. Life has these two aspects. One is matter aspect, second is consciousness aspect. And these two are connected with the bridge of mind. So mind is in fact matter, but it is enlivened by the light of consciousness. Like the surface of the wall is not a mirror. A particular sheet of glass with the background of mercury oxide becomes a mirror. So actually, ordinary glass and mirror both are glass. In the same manner, this material world and the mind both are matter. But the greatness of the mind as the matter is that in the mind the consciousness is reflected, thereby enlivens the mind. Therefore, mind is a joining factor between only matter and only consciousness. So what is mind? Mind is an amalgam of consciousness and matter. Now, as we cannot live or construct a house on the bridge, so also we cannot live on the mind or in the mind. We have to go to one end of the bridge. Either be in the matter or be in pure consciousness. So whatever we have trained our mind, the mind goes to the matter very easily. Like, suppose there is darkness in this room and we have to enter, we don't see anything. Like, we are in deep sleep, don't see anything. So entering a dark room is like remaining in deep sleep. Then we switch on the light. When the light is switched on, what do we see? we see only the contents of the room. Our attention doesn't go on the light nor on the source of the light called as electrical energy. In the same manner, from the dark room of deep sleep, when we switch on, what we see is this objective world. And once we see the objective world, we are lost in that. So, after some time, it has become our default setting. The moment you wake up, you go into the world. Like those people who have some default settings. In the morning when they get up, they straight away go for a cigarette. They don't have to think. Some people go for jogging. Some people start pranayama. So, we have trained ourselves. The moment we come on the bridge of mind, we go only in the matter. And in this process, we have failed to learn that how many times we have come in this material world. But have we discovered fulfillment in life? Because we are preoccupied in fulfilling the desires of our life. And slowly we develop a very peculiar equation. Fulfillment of desires will lead to fulfillment in life. But this does not happen. Once this is clearly understood, then a Kathopanishad student is born. Paranchi khani vetrunas swayambhu tasmat paran pashyati nantaratman kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanamaikshat avrutta chakshuhu amrutattvamichan. So, Paranchi khani vetruna swayambhu tasmat paran pashyati. Swayambhu, the God, created khani, the indriyani. How paran anchi, those which are extrovert, they cannot see themselves. Eyes can see all the colors and forms, eyes cannot see themselves. Mind can think about everything, mind can't think about itself. The moment eyes start seeing themselves, eyes disappear. Manasam tu kim, when you start inquiring about the mind, naiva manasam, mind disappears. This is how these structures are made to go out. But kaschid dhiraha, rare, courageous seeker, amrutattva enough of this relative world. So when we come to this point, enough of this relative world, this is the beginning of the meditative life. Enough of this world. And when this world is enough for us, what should happen? Just before coming, I was replying some emails. The one person from Switzerland wrote, Swamiji, how do you know that I have discovered happiness? And if happiness is our nature, why people are running after the happiness? So I said, happiness is discovered when you have no questions. When you have questions, you are not discovered. Is it a riddle or what? Something like, I take food and I ask you, can you tell me whether my hunger is satiated or not? How can others know? I have to know myself. No, I have taken food, but will you please tell me whether my hunger is satiated? No. And second thing, then there is no complaint. Two things happen. Then your second question, why people run? Drop these two words, why and how. Forget about it. Even if you know, what will you do? Will you go and start giving lectures? Don't seek happiness. Look at me, I am miserable. See, friends, avritta chakshuhu, one drops functioning as the body, as the sense organs, as the organs of action. Avritta chakshuhu. For what? Amrutattva vichan. Now we have done experiment in our life, remaining extrovert. We did it for many years. Now, do another experiment. This second experiment is the spiritual practice. See? All that attracts our mind by default start working. Virajya vishaya vrata dosha drushtya mumurmuhu swalakshe niyatavastha manasaha shama uchyate. Vishaya vrata virajya. Withdraw from the worldly objects. And how do we do that? Dosha drushtya. We are expert in finding out faults in others. So we have got the ability. So now start finding faults in the worldly objects which attract our mind. Nalini, dalagata, jalamati, taralam. See. These are all that is called pratipaksha bhavana, or finding the faults in the worldly objects and indulgence. Then, manasaha shama uchyate swalakshe niyatavastha. Then the mind is available to us for whatever we want to do. And it is for this purpose, this mind, when it is available, now this mind we no more use for worldly life, we no more use it for the upasana, now we use this mind for the experiments in meditation. All the meditations which are told by various masters in books, etc., these are experiments. And according to this experiment, we apply the same mind. So we are told that when you sit quiet, our body is divided in 5 elements. From the toe up to the loins, it is the Prithvi Tattva. From the loins up to the Umbalikas, it is Jala Tattva, waters. From the Umbalikas up to the heart, it is Agni Tattva, element fire. From the heart up to the throat, it is the Vayu Tattva. And from the throat up to the Bhrumadhya, Agya Chakra, it is the Akash Tattva. And from the Akash to the Brahmarandra, it is Mana Buddhi Chitta Ahankar Tattvas. And we are beyond all of them. This is the path given to us in Yoga Shastra. So, when we sit, we start with this. Never forget to adjust psychologically. First, we are happy and cheerful because we have come on our own. Then the Lord and the Guru Maharaj help us from within. The Lord protects us and the Guru guides us from within. Then, third step, At this moment, we are nobody. Absolute fresh. The whole past is completely dropped. Therefore, we are neither husband, wife, brother, father, mother, sister, nobody. Then we don't plan what we will do after meditation. So, the future is blocked. Now we are in the present, and in this present, we have to be 100% involved in the process that is following. This is called as Laya Prakriya, dissolving. So the Prithvi Tattva element earth is dissolved in the waters. So our legs from the toe up to the hip joints, they are slowly dissolved in the Jala Tattva, the waters. Now this Jala Tattva from the lions up to the umbilicus is the Agni Tattva. So the Jala Tattva along with the earth, Prithvi Tattva, is now dissolved in the Agni Tattva. We are now at umbilicus. Below umbilicus, there is nothing. Now this Agni Tattva is dissolved in Vayu Tattva. Below heart, there is nothing. The Vayu Tattva is dissolved in the Akash Tattva. Below the throat, there is nothing. Akash Tattva is dissolved in Manas Tattva. Below the Bhru Madhya, the forehead, there is nothing. From Bhru Madhya first half to the Sahasrara is Buddhi Tattva, and up to Sahasrara is Ahankar Tattva. Now we drop this Ahankar Tattva in the infinite. One has to remain extremely alert. Lest the mind will start talking. So after we have gone beyond the matter, now we are only in the mind that is reflecting the consciousness as Chidabhas. remain vigilant that we don't talk to ourselves. Because of nobody's status, no thoughts of the past can disturb. Because of no planning in the future, we don't talk to ourselves. So mind starts decaying and its own destruction. Destruction of the mind means perception of the mind remains alive, but the projection aspect of the mind dies away. Perception also dies away, then we have entered sleep. what happens and what should happen. What happens is we keep on chattering with ourselves. Then that becomes default settings in meditation. So one has to be extremely alert. We must not discuss, talk about anything. What should happen when we thus abstain from talking to ourselves for longer and longer time, the mind starts losing its capability and its habit of talking to itself. With the regular process, one comes to a point when, without efforts, the mind remains speechless. But the mind doesn't go to sleep. This is the extremely thin hairline between sleep and samadhi. In samadhi, perceptions are alive. In deep sleep, they are not. Because in samadhi, the mind is merging in consciousness. In deep sleep, mind merges in matter. Take deep breath slowly and see how we return back to the body. Move your toes and fingers. The body identification is complete. And the world begins. Offer everything at the feet of the Lord. Don't carry the burden of any memory with you. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.